machine. Now I'll be using the Handy Stitch brand, but they're all very similar, so hopefully this video can help you today no matter which brand you have. Okay, so usually when you get your Handy Stitch out of the box, it will already be threaded up and have fabric in it. I've already taken the fabric out and I'm going to unthread it so I can show you step by step how to thread the machine up. Okay, so I'm going to remove this bobbin of thread. Okay, so what I'm going to do before I do anything else with this machine, I'm going to put it into the lock position. So you have the operating button at the top here and there's a little lock here. So most machines should have something like this. So to lock it, we just slide it in under that button. Okay. Now, this is a battery operated machine, so I'm going to load the batteries into the bottom here. Now this takes 4 AA batteries and it's got some little symbols on the side to help you see which way they need to go. Okay, so my batteries are all loaded up and I'll just check. So yes, that is working. I'm just going to lock it again. Now I always like to keep it in the lock position when I'm not operating it because you can accidentally press the button when you don't mean to. I've done it a few times. Okay, so just to be safe, keep it in the lock position when you're not actually sewing with it. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to get some thread into it. Now you'd have this little pin that comes on the machine and you may also get a spare longer pin as well. So if you actually want to use a spool of thread like this, you can just use that instead of having thread on the bobbin. Okay, I'm just going to use the short one for today. So I've got a bobbin loaded up here with some pink thread to make it easier for you to see, hopefully. So I'm going to put my pin through the bobbin of thread there. And I've got my spring on there. Now this comes loose, so be careful not to drop it because it is hard to find on a floor. I'm going to push that pin into that spot there. Okay, now it doesn't really matter which way the thread is coming off the bobbin. The first thread guide is right here. So we need to pass the thread from the bottom through to the top. Okay, like so. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. And then the next thread guide is actually the tension discs here. So just on this little knob here you have 2 little discs. Okay, and the thread needs to sit in between those 2 little discs. Okay, and just hanging down like so. Alright, now the next thread guide is a little bit of a tricky one. So right underneath the arm here you can see a hook. Okay, and the thread needs to be hooked, needs to be over that hook. So I'm just going to use my fingers here, so bear with me. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Put the thread over the hook there. Okay, and the last thing we need to do is we need to put the thread through the needle going from the back through to the front. Now the direction is quite important. Now the easiest way I've found to do this is with the little needle threader that they've given you in the little pack. So I put the little hook through the hole or the eye of the needle and I have the hook facing down and just need to hook the thread under that hook. It'd be much easier if this was on the table, but I'm holding it here so it's easier for you guys to see. Okay, and just hold that thread out and carefully pull that hook through the eye of the needle. Oh, I've just got a little loop. I'll see if I can get that. Ah, well, I'm going to have to try that again. then once you've got that little loop through, just pull the thread tail all the way through. Okay, now the machine is threaded and ready to use. Before we do that, I'm just going to show you a couple of other parts. Here we have the rotary wheel. So this allows you to take the needle up and down. So it doesn't matter which direction you use it in, either way works. Okay, and we also have this one, this bit here. This is the fastening plate. Okay, now we're showing you how to use that in a minute. All right, we're ready to sew. So I'm going to show you the way that I prefer to use it, or the easiest way that I think to use it is first. So the easiest way I found is to have the little handheld sewing machine sitting on your table like so. Use my left finger to operate the on-off switch, and then I use my right hand to guide the fabric through. Okay, so I've just got 2 pieces of cotton here that I'm using. All right, so the easiest way I've found, when you're ready, unlock the machine. Just place your fabric at the beginning of the fastening plate here. So the fabric is going to be pulled from this direction towards the back, okay? Or if you're holding it this way, it's going to go from right to left, okay? Right, so I've got it flat on the table. All right, I'm going to press the button down. Okay, so it started sewing. Now, if you've just threaded the machine up, what I suggest you do, because you're going to have that thread tail that's going to be getting in the way there, if you just grab that thread and just pull that all the way through, and that will keep it out of the way of getting tangled up in your stitching there.
You ready?
You use the handheld sewing machine holding it vertically to your body, if that makes sense. So with your fabric under the fastening plate, unlock, and you can sew across. I find that way a little bit more awkward, but try both ways and see what works best for you. Okay, I hope you found this video useful. Hit the thumbs up if you have. Subscribe to keep up to date with any new videos. If you have any problems with this machine and you'd like some help with troubleshooting, then pop a comment down below and I'll try my best to answer it for you.